Yeah, it's been a minute. I think it was probably a Saints game last time we saw each other, or the Super Bowl, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. I've always wondered, because I saw you at the Saints games a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
And like Sean was a dear friend of mine, and I met him before he even got to the Saints.
Oh wow,
that's right. I met you there. That's how we connected. Now I always wondered what your connection was with New Orleans. Did you grow up there, or did you just love the Saints?
So I was shooting a movie in New Orleans, and I had, and one of the things I love about New Orleans is if you come up against a hardcore, multi-generational New Orleans family or person, they're the most interesting, fascinating. So I met a guy named Russell Strickland. He's probably listening. Shout out to Russell. And he's one of those dudes that has the city wired and a diehard Saints fan. Yeah. So he got me into the Saints, and it just happened to correspond to, it was right post Katrina. And it was that amazing miracle year. And I went and I met Coach Payton there, and we become, we will text each other from time to time, and I just love him, and I'm so happy what he's doing in Denver, man.
I know, it's fantastic.
Isn't it great?
I gotta tell you, Sean would always put that tent up outside the locker room where we'd all hang out, and he'd have food for us and a bar all set up and everything.
Yeah.
But the first time I met you, and I wanted to say this before I forgot it, like the first time that I met you, you came up to me and you talked about a sports film that I made called Boys of Fall.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I couldn't believe it. Like that was one of the most unbelievable compliments that I could get, because this was coming from someone that was in the film industry. And I was just, I was brand new to, so that I just want you to know that compliment that night, even though I might've been a touch tipsy, I remember it. And I've always appreciated it.
Well, it's so funny because I wanted to talk to you about Boys of Fall. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. You can see, you can get on YouTube. You can Google and get it, right?
Probably now, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It was a documentary for ESPN. We started with the song, and then the song single, it turned into this long form video, which Sean Payton went to his high school where he played high school football and gave a pregame speech, to kind of intro the video of it. And that I took that pregame speech and showed it to some of the bigwigs at ESPN, and that's how the whole film started. It was off Sean Payton's speech, and that was not scripted. It wasn't. I said, Sean, just talk about what you would say to a team, if you're getting ready to play the Super Bowl, or these kids right here. It doesn't matter. I said, just speak from your heart. And I swear to God, Rob, that's what he said, word for word. It was first take, because there was no second take. There were no takes. They were just getting ready to go play a game, and we were stunned at what he said.
It is, guys, listen, it is absolutely riveting. It is it's one of my favorite pieces of content. It literally is, Kenny. I'm not kidding. It's one of my first of all, the song's great. His speech with that, if you don't want to fucking run through a brick wall, at the end of that with your boys, then I don't know what to tell you. So if you take nothing else from this podcast, it is go and check that out. It is, next level.
Before I did Boys of Fall, I'd been on the road nonstop since 1993, and I hate saying that, that I was tired, but because a lot of my friends and heroes had been on the road a lot longer than me, Right. So, but still, I had given everything of my life to that point. And in 2009, I don't know if you've ever been there, but I was just numb. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel good. I was just numb to everything. And that's just an exhaustion. And that's not a good place to create and give the world something and make music. So I decided, before all the Boys of Fall stuff started, that I was going to take some time off anyway. And then right after we decided that in 2009 is when the whole Boys of Fall thing started. All of a sudden I am in the living rooms of John Madden and Nick Saban and Bill Parcells and Sean Payton and Brett Favre, all these people. And it was the creative spark that I truly needed and was craving, you know, because I was constantly on a bus, constantly in meet and greets, and I'm very thankful for all that. But man, I tell you, that whole Boys of Fall thing and my friend Sean Payton literally sparked me creatively in ways that I could have never seen coming, ever. And it was a true gift.
Isn't it interesting how you never know where inspiration comes from, and the muse, right? And
yeah.
And sometimes doing something that's a little adjacent to what you're doing, like
no question.
It's not it's not totally outside the realm, but it's not in the same lane that you've just been driving.
Exactly. Like there's only so many times that I realized that, like in 2009, like I was on the bus the whole year.
Yeah.
And I would walk from the back of the bus to the front of the bus, and from the front of the bus to the back of the bus, thinking I was going to see something different. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's not that I didn't love what I was doing, because I was very grateful for the gift of creating and making music, but I was on the road constantly. I would literally pack to go home, you know, and I had everything I owned on that bus. So it was one of those things where I was really just numb to life. I wasn't a good friend. I wasn't a good son. I was just kind of numb to it all. And taking that time off and diving into sports and into other people's lives, like, sparked another kind of creativity, and that truly helped me sustain me to this point in my career.
I'm super psyched about the book. We talk about again, like, you know, is this it's your first book, right?
Book, yeah, my first book ever.
Okay. So you're like, I'm going to do a book. And they're like, congratulations, we have a deal for you. You're like, great.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got to write the book. What's that day like?
Oh my God. I mean, that's, yeah, but to be honest with you, I didn't know if I had a real story to tell, because it's been real singular. I mean, like, it's been me on the road, catering at 4:00, show, and then 6 months off, 6 months on. That has been my life since 2003, aside from the Boys of Fall year that I took off. So they say, okay, we think you have a book. And I didn't know what the story was until I actually took time. And when we got off the road in 2024, Holly Gleason, my co-writer, and I sat down and said, okay, what is the book? You know, because I hadn't taken time to even reflect on any of it over the years. So it took a minute, right?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, when we sat down and started talking about it, it's just all these wonderful experiences that I've had that God has given me through music, through sports, and how I was able to bring, you know, the title of the book is called Heart Life Music. And to me, that has taken what's authentically in your heart, trying your best to live your life in an authentic way by that. And for me, I had music to thread all of that, you know, together.
Yeah.
And that's where the title came from. But when we started talking about all the experiences, all the people that I tried that, you know, when I was a kid, whose music I adored and loved, that touched me and made me want to be creative in the first place.
Yep.
The idea that you could have that, and then years later in your life, not only meet them, but create with them, share the stage with them, become friends with them on any level. And there's a lot of those stories in the book. And the whole book is about this kid in East Tennessee who lived with his grandmother. And I would go out in her backyard outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. So there was really no big city, no light pollution, anything. But I remember as a child that I would go and look up at the stars at night and wonder what was out there. That's where the dream of it all started. Because I only knew 3 roads. I knew the road to school, I knew the road to church, and I knew the road to the ballpark. And that was it. And that's where I started getting really curious about what else was out there in the world. And that's kind of that's the thread of this book in a lot of ways. But it goes from there to me currently. And Rob, I can tell you, yes, there's music in it, there's sports, there's a lot of friends, but when you pull back from all of it, it's really what this book is about, is the dream of it all and the journey of it all. And I had no idea that was there when Holly and I first started.
How about the irony that you knew only 3 roads fast forward to all you know are all the road.
Yeah. I know every rut in the road now.
Every rut of every highway.
I really do. But I, you know what? I can tell you that I am so blessed and so grateful. I mean, there's a lot of being grateful in this book because I didn't do this alone. None of it. What's really interesting is as a child, when I played Little League football and baseball, there were 3 guys on that team with me. And then we went to elementary school together. We went to high school together. And we were college roommates in college.
Wow.
And when I graduated college, I said, okay, I'm going to go chase this dream. I'm going to go do this. And they went to work for a credit union in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I said, if I ever get to a place where it's possible that I'm going to do this the way I want you guys to come with me and experience this. So when it came that time, it was a couple years later. And look, for me to move and to chase this dream and to create music and to go down the highway, for me, that was really blind faith. Okay, it was on my part. But for me to call them 2 years later and them have to make a decision when they have children, they have a wife, they have a life.
I'm getting agitated. I'm like anxiety just thinking about it.
So they finally said, okay. And I said, look, I told their wives, I said, just give us a year. And, cause I didn't know what was going to turn out. I didn't know we were going to do this. Right. I said, but give us a year or two just to take a couple of trips around the sun and play some places that our heroes played. And just have this, I don't know, kind of like a Wayne's World moment, if you will.
Yeah.
With your buddies. And we played Sphere in Vegas this past summer. And that was our 32nd trip together around the sun. And so there's a lot of those stories and that friendship element and us kind of betting on each other in a way. That's part of this book also.
Supportive footwear doesn't have to look like it came from your grandma's closet or your grandpa's closet for that matter. Today's line of Revitalign shoes, sandals, slippers, and boots come in on trend, fashion forward styles that offer the ultimate in support with orthotic-driven footbed in every style. They are comfortable and they support your feet with full contact comfort. Inside the shoe is an orthotic-driven footbed that has been developed on medical research. The cushioned footbed helps achieve better foot health, and the shoes are designed to give your feet proper support and foot alignment and can help reduce aches and pains in the legs, thighs, and lower back. I got some running shoes sent over to the house, Revitalign. Can't wait to break them in on a Santa Barbara trail run very soon, and I'll give you my update. They're light, supportive, without sacrificing style. Check out the full line of Revitalign footwear at Revitalign.com. That's Revitalign.com, and use the promo code Rob Lowe for 20% off your purchase. What do your friends that you've known that long, what do they do in your daily life?
Okay, David, one guy's name's David Farmer, and he's my road manager, and he's just kind of the general manager of everything I do out there on the road.
Great.
And Tim and Daryl run my merch company. Aside from the road and on the road, like if you or someone goes and buys a T-shirt, that's them.
Got it.
And so they run that whole company out there and have for years. And I don't know, it's
great.
To be kids and I can't tell you the blessing it's been for me to be out there, because it can be. I know this sounds crazy, living this rock and roll lifestyle that we've lived, but it's wonderful because no 2 days are different, but it can be a mundane existence out there and a lonely existence out there aside from being on stage. So to have your buddies out there with you has been an amazing thing to have. It's kept me very focused and grounded. And if there was ever a moment where I thought that I was reading too much of my own positive press, or letting the ego get away from you, they know the very specific buttons to push to bring me right back down to earth. And that's been an amazing thing to have.
How was the Sphere?
Oh my God. It was
Isn't
it's
it?
hard to find words.
I went and saw the Eagles there.
Yeah.
By the way, the perfect band and place to see, because the Eagles just stand and play, and that's all you want. And Henley, who is notorious misanthrope and not the greatest bedside manner, Henley was effusive about playing there because of
in
the
front
sound.
of his audience. Yeah.
Because of the sound. He said the sound there was unlike anything that they'd ever played, just the technology.
It's for us, what was great about playing Sphere for me is we had been doing a specific thing for a lot of years, especially, we've been playing stadiums since 2005. So we know how to prepare for that. When we go into rehearsal in February, we start late March, early April. We know how to prepare for that. But this playing the Sphere forced us and forced me, which I think was a blessing. It forced us to create different neural pathways to get ready to do a show because this was something completely different. I mean, the sound is unbelievable and it comes over you. And the video is not just behind you on the side, it's above you, it's in front of you. And it's because I went to see the Eagles and I went to see Dead and Company also there before we did our first show. Because I just wanted to know what it was like to be in the audience.
Yeah.
It's the most immersive experience, because people that have been listening to my music for a long time now, and they come to the Sphere, they're going to experience the same songs in a completely different state of consciousness. It is unbelievable. I mean, it's like being on a plant medicine journey. It's great.
It is. It is like, it's one of those things where you go, yeah, I'm sure it's great. Yeah, sure. Oh no, yeah. Wow, that sounds great. And then you go there and you're like, holy shit.
You're almost like, wow, this is how life should be.
Yes.
Every day. And then like takes all, it just peels back the onion on your, I feel like it's emotional in nature to sit and watch a show there. No matter what you watch, whether it's the film they play during the day, or you go see us, or you go see the Eagles or whatever, it's just go see something, because it's an emotional experience.
It's so funny because as it was being built, it's really expensive, and it was sort of like, this is some boondoggle, and then you go there and it's worth every penny.
Yeah,
it's I cannot tell you what it was. I mean, I can only imagine. You must have crushed it. What's it like though as an artist? Because all that's going on behind you. Because that's just what I'm curious about is like, it's one thing if you're the Eagles who don't say anything to the audience ever, but you're very engaged with the audience, and I wonder how is that for you when you have this insane other element playing behind you?
Well, the first night we went on stage, two things. The first night I went on stage, I was so almost distracted. Because, I'm up here and I'm playing, we're doing a show, and there's this audience in front of us, and I'm used to the stuff going on behind me, but up here and in front of me and over here in your peripheral, like it's so visual. And I like this, there was 2 moments in the show of songs that I wrote, that I wrote the songs, and I was so distracted at the first night that I was completely lost in the middle of my own song. I forgot the words. I just went, and I admitted it to the audience. I went, okay, help me, because I'm lost. I'm looking at all this stuff. And it was kind of a bonding moment in a way for us.
Amazing.
But I said, isn't this great? And they helped me out. But, I don't know. I think that my mojo for years on stage is connection. We got this, my band is incredible. The visuals we always work hard on, but we don't have a lot of bells and whistles when we're not playing Sphere. So it's all energy, and it's all raw emotion, and it's all the idea of me looking at the audience, them looking at me, and us connecting and saying, okay, we're going to make love tonight. Yeah. Right. And so, but the connection has to be there for both of us. It took me a minute when I played Sphere, because I was there looking at them. But it's almost impossible at first for them to look at you and meet you halfway because they're looking straight at the screen.
Yeah.
It's just impossible for them not to. So I had to get used to that for a minute. And by song 4 or 5, I had captured their attention back. Right. And so I that was work for a minute, but
wow,
it's only human nature to do it.
Oh no, it's like going
so
to
beautiful.
We we do it even at sporting events. If the jumbotron is too close to you, you can catch yourself going. Wait, the actual game is here. What are you doing?
First time I played the Dallas Cowboys football stadium, Jerry had just built that huge screen.
That's right,
and he wanted me to use the screen, and I didn't want to, and I didn't use it. And the second year we went to play it, and he wanted us to use the screen, and he finally talked me into it, because I had some friends that played, and they said it's okay, you don't really see it, but I didn't want all these people that 50, 60,000 people that's at the Cowboys football stadium to be watching a TV version of our show.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the only thing, is because that was my mojo. But we got past it. We played there tons of times since, and we put a bunch of content on it, and it looks really great, actually.
Speaking of Jerry Jones, one of my favorite people to talk football with. Oh. How about his scene? Have you seen his scene in Landman?
I thought it's unbelievable.
It's the same thing though that you with Coach Payton. Taylor Sheridan, the great creator of Yellowstone, Landman, was like, just tell that story. It's like you, and for Sheridan to not write something, because that's what he does. Yeah. He's like, just do your thing, and it's the same. It's just riveting when you get these old school football, and I guess it's probably true in any sport. Anybody who's a master of their domain that has to inspire people from time to time. That's one of my favorite moments is hearing Jerry talk like that.
Oh, I love it. And he's been a friend, over the years. When I first started playing there, I didn't know him at all until we played there. And my first interaction with him was us. We weren't in an argument, but Jerry wanted me to use that screen. I didn't want to use it. Yeah. So I didn't use it. And so the next year I agreed to it, and he came down. I mean, he gave me a big hug, and since then, we've been friends ever since. But he has not gotten to where he is today in the world by being not being a smart cookie. He's a master motivator, and he is like I look up to him a lot.
That documentary that's out now on him
on the Cowboys,
it's insane. It's so good.
It's insane.
It's so good. I mean, it's like, and it's also like Dr. Buss and the Lakers and all those documentaries. And you realize these guys just were wheeler dealers riverboat gamblers, man, who just by hook or by crook made it happen.
No, wasn't there a story where Jerry was in Mexico or somewhere and got a call, we think that, I don't know, I think I watched this in the documentary where he goes, well, we think the Cowboys are going to be for sale. And he flew out of Mexico and went straight to Dallas. And that's how that whole thing started. It's a crazy story.
And him being a Louisiana, I guess he's Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah.
Like an Arkansas boy and the tech. And how about firing, Dapper, the famous coach, Tom Landry.
And Tex Ram, and all of them, So it was but you know what? I've to sit down with Jerry Jones at a dinner.
Oh, nothing better.
Nothing better. I mean, it's one of the most fascinating conversations.
Yes.
And I've never seen a human being hold the table or hold the room better than him. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I couldn't agree with you more. It's a real treat. How did you fall in love with the Virgin Islands? I mean, you're a waterman like me. I love the water. Yeah. And then tell me in your mind, is there a difference? We're going to go in deep dive here. What's the difference between the British Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands? Or do you consider them all the same?
Well, they're just U.S. owned. A couple of them are U.S. owned. Puerto Rico, and then St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. Right. But from my house in St. John, you can see the British Virgin Islands. You could be there in 20 minutes. It's like the same area. Right. But I went to the Virgin Islands for the first time in 1997 to shoot a music video for a song called How Forever Feels. And we were in St. Thomas, and we ran into really bad weather, so we had to push a couple of days. So I didn't really have anything to do, and I took the ferry over to St. John. And that was the beginning of my love affair with the Virgin Islands. And I met a group of people that became life friends. You know, on that day, I mean, I walked into this bar, there were two twin boys there from Missouri, and they introduced me to a couple other people. And we just had a nice talk. You know, I got to get back on the ferry. You know, I got to get up really early in the morning and shoot sunrise, that kind of stuff. But I went back a couple of months later and stayed a month. And all of a sudden, I'm meeting all these people that became a different circle of friends that I had on the road and from my family. And they were all from different places, right? So think about from 1993 till that time, 1997, 98, I was trying to create music for a certain formula that was working, right? In the genre of country, because I was just trying to get my songs heard any way I could. I wasn't really comfortable in my skin. I didn't know who I wanted to be as an artist, but I was recording music that just fit a formula. And I had a few songs on the radio at the time, but when I went to the Virgin Islands and I met all these different people from all over the world, a lot of them from New England, but for the first time in my life, I went, wow, I can create music for these people too. I don't have to make music for this specific thing because I think it hits a certain audience.
Right.
And that truly, Rob, changed my life. Yeah, all of a sudden, it gave me creative freedom. It gave me, now I didn't annihilate the country audience. I just expanded my version of it. And all that happened by meeting people, and they didn't even know who I was, all these people down there, right? It was long before social media. It was long before how everything is so instant today.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
So they didn't know. What's crazy is once they found out, and years later they would come on the road and they would see me do my thing on stage, they were really confused because they didn't know that person down there. You know, they're scratching their head going, who's this guy?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
But, you know, being around water and on boats and having a bunch of authentic island friends like that just changed me creatively. And it allowed me to, I don't know, all of a sudden I was, you know, where I had been creating and looking through a straw, all of a sudden I was creating with a fisheye lens. That's the best way I can explain it.
That makes sense.
And that's how it all changed for me.
Are you? Do you fish?
A little bit, but I tell you, I don't love to go out there if it's rough. Yeah. So I struggle with that. But you know, you can never predict.
Because
I don't fish a ton, but I love it.
Yeah, my son and I are just obsessed with the water and spent a lot of time in the Virgin Islands and all that whole area. I just got down to all the way down to Mystique finally. Which, you know, and you go, Mystique, this is like where Mick Jagger used to come. And like, and then I realized that Mystique is French for fucking mosquito. And boy, did they name that island correctly.
Yeah, no question.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like insane. But that's
you see all these beautiful villas, you know, in the Virgin Islands, and you see they're tucked back into the hill. And it is gorgeous. But, you know, if mosquitoes love darkness and they love, it's hard to do that for me, you know, because I've made the mistake. I've rented this villa down there with me and my girlfriend at the time, and we woke up and we were like covered in mosquito bites. But luckily over the years, I think they got used to my blood and they leave me alone pretty much now.
Well, it is a funny thing. Mosquitoes don't like my blood. I mean, it must say something about me. I mean, but my wife gets annihilated. Annihilated. And it's just so funny to me. It's like, I'm like, I didn't even notice it. It must be all the, you know, years of bitterness in my blood. You know, just it has to be. Do you think it's too much caffeine? It's bitterness and caffeine. I think that we have a song title, Bitterness and Caffeine.
Okay, yeah, no question.
In our blood.
That's a chapter of a book for sure.
Isn't it? For sure. When is your book out or coming out? It's coming.
No, it's out.
It's out now. Available now. There it is.
Yeah, it's Heart Life Music, and we were #1 New York Times bestseller last week. And
that's not easy to do, bro.
I know, and
easy to do.
I'm very thankful, but I had no idea that was going to happen. Truly, Rob, all I wanted to do was once we agreed to do this, and Holly and I spent a year together, right, writing this book. I mean, really, all I wanted to do was just to get my story out there and have it on print, and hopefully that somebody would see their life reflected in it. I'm very proud of it.
Did you do the audiobook?
I did the audiobook.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it was difficult. It took a while, but I'm really glad I did it. Yeah. Because you know what? If you wrote a book, the people that know and love you wouldn't want me to read your audiobook.
No, for sure.
They want you to read it.
Yes.
I hate how I sound on it, but to listen to your own voice is always really weird.
See, that's funny but you don't feel that way about your singing voice.
No, I've got used to that. But
you got used to it.
Yeah, I got used to it. But it's really interesting.
You get enough hits on the radio, man. You get used to your own voice. Man, you win enough Grammys. You get used to your voice.
Well, I mean, it's like I said this. We did a book tour after the book came out, and it was really hard for me at first because I'm used to being in front of an audience and I can sing to 60,000 people. But you asked me to speak to 600, and it's a completely different thing. But I'm getting better at it.
It is a weird thing, isn't it? It's
a different kind of intimacy.
Yes. That's exactly. Yeah, that must be
Which
it.
I'm getting better at too.
Bro, I'm right there with you. Wait, intimacy? I don't know.
I can't even believe I used that word.
Same. It's like I'm good with an audience, but I don't. But if it's 25 people and I'm supposed to give a toast.
Oh yeah, that's difficult.
Brutal.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you're in like a group of 20 or 25 and someone before a meal and someone randomly asks you to say the prayer?
Oh
my God. That's so much anxiety. I crumble.
So much anxiety. Say that. Why don't you lead grace tonight?
Yeah.
Or hey, so I'm going to open with a few words, and then I thought maybe you'd talk a little bit about, and you can't eat anything. The food now tastes like a cannonball in your stomach.
Yeah, I'm not any good at that at all.
You get into, and I get that little like devil on my shoulder going, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Ooh, land the plane. I
love it.
I actually have a new book coming out, and
when does it come out?
It'll be out next year, probably around Father's Day. But it's a little bit of a how to live life book, tongue in cheek. But one of the things I talk about is how to give a toast, how not to give a toast, how to tell a joke, and because I've lived it. I've had a very steep learning curve. You bomb enough, and you figure it out, right? It's like being it's like being on a talk show,
or being on stage or whatever.
Yeah,
stand up on stage or as an actor, whatever. You learn. You don't necessarily. And I would imagine being a father. Like, I don't know that yet, but you kind of imagine. You kind of learn pretty quickly what doesn't work.
Yes.
Whether you know what works or not, you know what not to do.
Yeah.
I guess that's half the battle.
Tell me, I want to talk to you is about Nashville and your heroes and stuff. So, who in your Mount Rushmore Hall of Fame, who's on it? In
it's a lot of different people, but it's difficult. I mean, growing up in East Tennessee, I had obviously my country people, but then I went to college, and then I realized the genius of Bruce Springsteen. I realized the genius of Jimmy Buffett, and growing up as a child in Knoxville, we didn't hear Bob Marley and the Wailers. We did not. But when I got to college, that whole world opened up to me. And then I started writing songs, and I realized how great Jimmy was and how great Bruce was. And and how great. I still think Bob Marley's music is the most universal music that we have in our world. So you take that child in East Tennessee that just started to dream at his grandmother's backyard, and tell him that he is going to meet Bruce Springsteen, Jimmy Buffett, and not Bob, obviously, because he had passed, but all the guys that made that music with Bob.
Right.
With Ashton Family Man Barrett. I did a music video on the North Shore of Jamaica with the Wailers.
Wow.
And after it was over, I sat there on the beach with Family Man, and we just talked about music and about how, I mean, he almost gave this 5-minute speech to me about how reggae and country are alike because they tell stories uncut. And then he started going to talking about how him and Bob, how they met and how, I mean, just their whole journey. And to be a kid from East Tennessee that didn't know what his dream meant, to be sitting there on the beach with Bob, listening to their story, it was eerily similar. Because they were in Jamaica, they didn't know what they didn't know the music that they were making was going to touch the world at all.
Right.
And so they would be on it. So Buffett, Springsteen, Bob Marley and the Wailers. As a kid, I loved the music of Van Halen. Yeah. I loved Steve Miller. I loved George Strait. I loved Willie Nelson. And I think I'm running out of room to put people on
great.
it.
I mean,
but there's just so much, that touched me, and I mean, it just goes on and on.
Those are great. Those Springsteen in particular, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. I mean, my life wouldn't be the same without those guys.
Same.
Because I was in college, and I was the first song I wrote. I heard Jimmy's song, and I heard a lot of Bruce's music, and I thought, I want to try to write a song. Rob, I was a marketing major at East Tennessee State University, and there was this girl that sat beside me the whole semester. And I tried everywhere in the world to get that girl to go out with me. But all of a sudden, I was out of jokes, and I was out of whatever East Tennessee charm I was trying to lay on her. Nothing was working.
Right.
And I thought, well, I'm going to write her a song. And I spent a little time writing her whatever I thought that I wanted to give her. And it was one of those old school things, you had to push play and record on the recorder.
Yes, same, 2 fingers at the same time.
That's right, 2 fingers at the same. So I wrote her this song, put it on a cassette. Now look, this class that we took was only a Tuesday, Thursday class. So I made the mistake of walking in there and sliding it across the table to her on a Thursday. And so, which means I had to wait Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for any kind of response. And so I walk in, okay, all of a sudden it's Tuesday. Today's the day.
Yes, today's the day.
Today's the day. When I walk in, I sat down, and that girl is sitting as far away from me as she possibly can. She's sitting on the back side in the back corner of the room. So, so I thought, the only thought that I had, I took it pretty good. The only thought that I had was, your songs have got to get a lot better. But looking back at it now, it truly was my first taste of rejection in the music business. And it was a glimpse into what was going to come your way a lot when you're trying to break into this business. So that was my first experience in trying and developing tough skin. And you have to have that when you do what we do, and to not take anything personally. I mean, I took it a little personal, but I got over it pretty quickly.
God,
that's a true story.
That is an amazing. I hope you've written another song for her.
No, I haven't.
Oh, come on, man! If I were your John Landau, and you're my Bruce Springsteen, I'm insisting you write a song for her today.
Yeah, I'll do it.
The Girl in the Classroom.
That's how it started, though. Seriously, that was the first song I ever wrote, and I got rejected personally and musically.
Yeah, no, I love the idea. The Girl in the Classroom.
Yeah. Look at me. Yeah, wherever you are. I mean, I don't know. There's an idea in there somewhere.
This is what you taught me. You get to thank her. Thank her for the rejection.
But it truly was. It was rejection musically, personally. I mean, every way. She didn't like it at all. I mean, she moved
like
Rob,
it at
to
all.
the back corner of the classroom, as far away from me as she could possibly get.
Well, what I wonder is, what was she saying to everybody from Thursday to Tuesday?
I mean, you feel like this the biggest asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, she's saying that to all of her buddies and probably letting all of her friends hear it. You know, you think the absolute worst. And the year wasn't over. I had to go in every Tuesday, Thursday for like another month and see her sitting in the back corner and be reminded of that every class. So anyway.
Not everybody.
I got over it.
Listen. Not everybody can have their first foray work. There was a moment in the late '80s where I thought, I want to try to see if I can do something in music, and so I find myself with Jeff Porcaro and David Paich of Toto.
Yeah, great players. Yeah.
And they've written a song for me, and we're in the recording studio, and God damn, it was, I look back, I'm glad that cassette never made it out to anybody. And it was a cassette.
Yeah, I know.
I would have had the entire country moving to the back of the class.
Well, look, man, whatever higher power you believe in had something different in mind for you. Just like me. Like I wanted to play sports, but I swear to God, it was this size as a freshman in high school. And I thought I was going to be an athlete when I was a freshman in high school. Sophomore year, same size. Junior year, same size.
Yeah, you thought it was good. You thought that was just the beginning. You're like, I'll get another
57 years old, same size.
Still the same size.
So whatever higher power that is out there had something much different in mind for me.
It just goes to show you, sometimes like the dream you have there's actually a better dream. I always say, if I'd ever gotten what I wanted, I would have been selling myself short.
Well, I know that emotion, because especially when you're young in this business, and when you are, like when I got my first record deal and it wasn't working, and my second one, it wasn't working, it's almost human nature to want it all at once.
Right.
You know, I think, oh, well, why am I not getting my records played? And I feel like that there were people that I was comparable to that were just shooting up the charts. But now I am so thankful, because if what had happened to me later in my life and what has happened to me now had happened to me when I wanted it, I wouldn't have had the skill set to take it. It would have been over before it started. And so I'm very thankful that didn't happen when I wanted it.
It's a great lesson for everybody, because it's true for everybody. It happens. It's not on our time. It's on God's time or whatever fate's time, the universe's time, whatever you believe in. And you just gotta. It's like they say, you just gotta stay around the hoop. It's a great sports reference.
That's great. I love that.
Isn't that a good one? Just good things happen when you stay around the hoop.
That's right. Yeah, and you're available.
Yes.
You know? Yeah,
that's right.
So, but I was discouraged some when it started, but I wasn't that. I just kept going. I just truly believed that I was supposed to be there. And so I had a band, Rob, I had a bus that had 12 bunks on it, and there were 14 of us on the bus. So we took turns sleeping on the front lounge couch and the back lounge couch, even me, because I was just a part of the band. I wasn't Kenny Chesney yet. I was just in the band, right?
Right.
I had the record deal, but nobody knew who we were. Nobody.
At all. Amazing. I'm so psyched to read the book. I love.
Thank you, man.
I love when people who have a storied career decide to put some of it on paper. So there's some of my favorite books come from that era. So. And I will be reading it. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I'll
be reading yours too.
I like
wait
to
for
read
it to come out. Let me know when it's out.
I will for sure. I got 2 out now. I mean, 2 stories I only tell my friends. You can get that one now.
Oh, so is that a tell-all?
It is a memoir, but it's
it's a good way.
Yes, it is a memoir. And what I like about it is it hits a bullseye of telling you all the sort of behind-the-scenes shit that you want, but in a way where nobody gets hurt.
That's a good way to put it.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
that's why I didn't want to do it that way too, because I I still respect a lot of people that have been in my life that are still in my life.
Yeah.
Just because I have my life don't mean that they have to be painted a certain way.
No, and the other part of it is you're entitled to your point of view on your own life.
Yes, that's
so like that's, you know, like whenever I would be writing about something, a person or family member or friend or somebody who's powerful, whatever, you know, I would know that I was going to do it with a deft touch.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, hey man, fuck it. This is my life. This did happen to me.
Yeah. Well, before I go back down the islands, which is going to be after Thanksgiving, I will have that book.
Oh, good. Yeah. And we'll compare reviews. And if you move to the opposite end of the boat when you see me, I'll know.
Yeah. No.
It's safe, right? I'll be like,
I won't do that, brother. I won't do that. Did you do an audiobook for it?
I did. Yeah, I do audio both. I have one, Stories I Only Tell My Friends, and then another one called Love Life, which is the follow-up.
Because see, I like to sit in the sauna and listen.
Yeah.
I like to, when I'm on the plane, I listen. And when I'm in the car, I listen. I love audiobooks.
Are you an infrared sauna guy?
I do some, but I've got my own sauna. It's the heater, and I do a lot of witchcraft stuff to my body.
Same.
So
cold plunge.
Yeah, cold plunge. I do heat and ice. I do I do a lot of IV stuff. I do plasma exchange. Have you ever done a plasma exchange?
No.
It's really intense, but
wow.
it's you feel fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about later.
Okay, I got my my homework is Kenny Chesney's plasma exchange. Hi, I'm Kenny Chesney. Get your very own bag.
It's really great for you.
Yeah. All right, this has been great, dude. I always love when we get a chance to catch up. We'll next Saints game or Denver.
Yeah, whenever.
Do you go up to see Sean in Denver?
Yeah, I'm going to go before the year's up. I've been busy doing this, but I'm going to go before the year. They are so good.
Same.
And they got a real shot. They got a great defense. They had a real shot.
Okay.
But I hope to see you soon, man. It's been too long. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you. And thanks for the time. And hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you up in Denver, sounds like. Thanks, brother.
Sounds
appreciate
great,
you.
Man. Thank you.